Hey guys, Cody here. Welcome to the channel. This is the very first video on the channel. This is just going to be kind of a brief introduction and a brief walk around of my 1997 Yamaha Big Bear 350 four-wheel drive. If you saw my Instagram post, I posted up there that I was going to start uploading our trail videos and our camping trips and stuff like that up on this channel. So just kind of where I have a place to upload some of the video we take with like our action camera and stuff like that. So but just to get some content up here, we'll do a quick walk around of my newest edition. Like I said, this is a 1997 Yamaha Big Bear 350. This is the four-wheel drive. It's actually all-time four-wheel drive, so that's kind of neat. I've never had a bike like this before, but yeah, here we go. So I actually bought this off my aunt and uncle. They're technically the second owners of this, but they bought it when it was only a year old, so they've had it the majority of its entire lifetime. So I've got it now. They really had no use for it. The only thing he used it for was to plow their driveway in the wintertime, which explains some of the surface rust. So this did come with a plow, as well as you'll see up here a worn A2000 winch with steel cable. That winch I will probably replace the winch line with a synthetic line. Just a little safer, saves a little bit of weight on the front of this thing. I just like synthetic lines. The winch controller is right up here, so it's actually a really easy access from under the handlebars. I don't really care for it there because it really limits my use of the front rack for storage or any boxes or anything like that. But it does, it's a good spot. Maybe I can relocate it up here, and that might be out of the way enough to where I can get something else up here and still be accessible from over the handlebars. We'll see. I'll play around with it eventually. But this is actually the first four-wheel drive quad I've ever had. This is the first, I guess they call this a semi-automatic. You still have to manually shift between gears with your foot, but you don't actually have to use the clutch at all. So I actually had a Yamaha dealer tell me it was called semi-automatic, so pretty neat. But for a bike from 1997, this thing's fairly clean. The only thing I've done is done a light power wash, so obviously there's still some dirt and stuff like that. I need to get in here and really scrub it. There's a little storage cubby back here. It's not huge, but it's you know, it's decent enough. You know, I could store soft shackles, I could store some tools, I could probably get a recovery rope in there, so that's enough for all that. These racks are fairly beefy. The load limit on this rear rack is 176 pounds. I can't really imagine myself ever storing anything more than that back there. I'm definitely not going to ever have two riders on there, so that won't be an issue. Here's some of the surface rust I was telling you about there and on the frame. It's all surface rust so far. I've looked at it pretty heavily, and there's nothing rotted out on it. You know, besides the surface rust, this is actually a pretty clean quad. The ball joints, the tie rods, they're all tight. They all work well. No leaks from the CV boots or anything like that. So when I did get it, it initially didn't run. When we were trying to get it started at their house, we actually snapped the old dry rotted fuel line, and we snapped the fuel filter actually inside of it. So we couldn't get anything to run. The petcock valve was actually completely clogged up. So first thing I did was take that off, and I did a pretty thorough cleaning of that. And then I ordered a new one just to have as a spare. And then back here, he actually had a large truck size AGM battery sitting on top of the back rack with extended cable lines just running out the back. And then he had that ratchet strapped to the rack itself, which worked excellent for what his purposes were. Again, he was just using this to plow snow in the wintertime in his personal driveway. And he's right, the ATV batteries are actually just as expensive as a full-size truck AGM battery. So, but I wanted to change it up because I wanted to actually use this back rack for something. I do have a storage box that goes on the back of it, so I might use that, or I might build something myself. We'll see. But because he had that on there, there was no type of hold down or cover or anything like that for the stock battery box. So I had to make this bend basically this bracket out of aluminum stock, which it's working okay so far. I had some issues, you know, this aluminum stock's thin, it's fairly weak, so I snapped the first two, and luckily on this third one I got the bends okay enough to where I wasn't marring enough to just snap in two on me. So we'll see how well that holds up. I'd like to make that out of steel stock one of these days, but so far it's working out. That's basically it. Let's go ahead and start it up. I've not had it running yet, so we'll see how well it'll start up. Okay. I can't see any major holes in the muffler, but you know, appearance-wise, it's rusty. You know, we pour salt and brine and all that on our roads in the winter time, so everything gets pretty nasty up here. That is my 1997 Yamaha Big Bear 350 four-wheel drive. Alright guys, stay tuned. We're hitting Hassman Acres up here real soon, and we'll try to get as much video as we can of that. Hopefully I can get my action cam set up on the rack or the bars or something like that, and we'll have a little fun. Until next video, we'll catch you guys later.